Hello, my dears. Here we are at review lesson 83. Those two lessons that we're going to review today are my only function is the one God gave me. That's the morning one. The later in the day one is my happiness and my function are one. They are the same thing. They give me the same result. Okay, let's go back to the first one. And remember, you're to contemplate these ideas for 3 or 4 minutes and then allow yourself to be quiet for the remaining 10 minutes or so and see what comes into your mind. Don't let your mind wander. If it does, come back to the key idea. But mostly this is just the practice of let everything settle. Let everything just pass by. Don't grab hold of any thoughts. Just contemplate these truths and then be still. Here's this first lesson again. My only function is the one God gave me. My only function is about love. My only function is releasing grievances, letting go, forgiving, loving yourself. That's basically what the function is. This recognition releases me from conflict because now I don't have conflicting goals. If I partly want to love and partly want to get my ego needs met, I'm always in conflict because I've got two purposes. What they really boil down to are, well, sometimes I want to be loved and sometimes I want to be hated. I don't really think that being hated is what I want, but if I'm going to follow an ego directive, that's what that actually is. So the other conflicting goals when I'm looking at love versus ego are going to be, I want to be safe or I want to be endangered. I want to be free or I want to be imprisoned. It's always like the Chinese menu that's got 2 columns. Choose some from A and some from B. Here you can't do that. You get all of everything in one column or all of everything in the other one. So once I stop pretending like I've got more than one goal, I breathe a sigh of relief. My conflict ends. I'm not in doubt. I know exactly what I'm supposed to be doing, what I'm supposed to be thinking, what I'm supposed to be saying. Okay, my only function is this loving, which is showing up through the process of releasing grievances. So the ideas could be, my perception of this does not change my function. In other words, my ego mind might think that the words or the behavior are not okay, they are reprehensible, they shouldn't be this way, etc., etc. Doesn't matter. These are my grievances, this is my fear, this is my guilt that I'm looking at, so it doesn't matter. This is still my function, releasing grievances. The second comment is this does not give me a function other than the one God gave me. I don't have a function other than loving. So I don't have a function about getting the ego's way or solving problems the way I'm used to. That's not what my function is. Don't be confused. The last one that it suggests, and remember you can make up your own as long as there's this same general idea. Let me not use this to justify a function God did not give me. Okay. Let me not use this to justify my judgment because I was clearly not given that function by love itself. So it doesn't matter if the situation or the goal seems to call for judgment from my ego mind. Don't do it. You'll be sorry, as we have been up to this point. My second lesson for the day, for later on, again, contemplate 3 or 4 or 5 minutes, then be quiet. My happiness and my function are one. They are the same thing. They come from oneness. They're received as one, and both relate to my happiness. My function is my happiness. Releasing grievances is how I recognize that my happiness is always here. I don't have to make my happiness be here. I don't have to go get happiness from someplace else. It's always here, but buried behind my grievances. Remember, I'm now reviewing this batch of lessons that will not let up on grievances are the problem. So you'll hear this over and over, which is the idea, because we must so learn it. And then it says, of course, you're going to have to recognize that fulfilling this single function is how I get to be happy, because it reveals happiness, which is already everywhere I go, like my shadow goes with me wherever I go. Happiness actually goes with me everywhere. It's my basic nature. And releasing grievances is going to allow me to be aware of this. So the special little separate comments are, this cannot separate my happiness from my function. No matter what's happening, no matter how much my ego mind might absolutely despise this, the oneness of my happiness and my function remains wholly unaffected by anything that's going on, by a person's behavior, by a situation, by something that might otherwise have been disappointing to your ego mind. Nothing, including this, whatever behavior or situation it might be, can justify the illusion of happiness apart from my function. In other words, I'm not confused that arranging the world the way I think it ought to be is how I'm going to be happy. Not a chance. No matter how I rearrange my world, as long as I've got this wall of grievances up, my happiness is going to stay stuck and hidden behind it. I hope you have a wonderful practice today, and as always, I sure will look forward to seeing you again tomorrow.